This week's Torah reading is called Shemini, which means the eighth. Not so many things happened in the story of this particular reading, but one of the things very significant is the death of Nadav and Avihu. Nadav and Avihu were two of the sons of Aaron Aharon, the great priest, the brother of Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, Aharon. They were in the middle of the inauguration of the tabernacle, and they were serving God. They offered in an amazing fire. They were very spiritual people, and they passed away in the middle of this whole party, so to speak. Now, when the Torah talks about this, the Torah shows what was the attitude that Aaron had when he saw that his children, who were, again, very giant spiritual people, passed away in the middle of the service of God. Now, before explaining what actually the Torah says, I would like to say that there are actually three attitudes a person can have on problems in life, challenges in life. And we will learn from Aaron one of those attitudes, and we will learn from David HaMelech, King David, the best, so to speak, attitude that a person should have facing all kinds of problems in life. First kind of attitude is to complain, not to accept, I deserve better. Why is this happening to me? What is God wanting from me? And so on. You can ask all kinds of questions of why problems happen to you. It doesn't really matter whether you're a good person, a bad person, God forbid. But in any case, a person complains. I don't deserve this. I don't like this. And so on. That's attitude number one, which is, of course, is not so good. Attitude number two, because God knows exactly what he does with his world. You think you know better than God. Okay, attitude number two, the attitude of Aaron HaKohen. The Torah explains that when he saw his children passing away, the Torah says in Hebrew, Va'idom Aaron, and he made silence. That means he accepted the judgment that came from God, even though we don't understand it, even though we don't like it, but he didn't complain. He just made silence. Va'idom Aaron. And the truth is that this silence was actually rewarded, because after the passing of his two children, in the middle of serving God, God spoke to him and gave him some laws specifically to him, through him, and so on. So he received something as a reward for his silence. But that's not the best attitude. What's the best attitude? Let's look at two psalms from King David HaMelech. Psalm number one we're going to analyze very briefly is Psalm 30. And Psalm number two that we're going to analyze very briefly is 101. What does it talk about, Psalm 30? Psalm 30 is the moment that David HaMelech wanted to inaugurate the new tabernacle, so to speak. In his days, still, there was no temple. He gathered the money for the temple, but the point is that he wanted to inaugurate his house. That's how Psalm 30 starts. And by the end of the psalm, there are very interesting words. He says, "Hear me, Lord, and have mercy on me. Help me." And then he starts saying that God changed his not so happy moments into better times. And then it says something very interesting. In order that I should, my whole being should sing to you, and I will not make silence. V'lo idom. Exactly the same words that the Torah uses about Aaron and his attitude towards life. David HaMelech says exactly the opposite. Aaron, the Torah says, Va'idom Aaron. He made silence. Difficult times, he made silence. David HaMelech, he's asking God, help me. And then he says, you know what? I will sing to you, and I will not make silence. My whole being is going to be involved in your service. V'lo idom. I will not make silence. That's Psalm 30. But then we go to Psalm 101, and David HaMelech teaches us something much deeper. The psalm starts actually saying, this is a song by David, Chesed u'mishpat ashira lecha Hashem, Azameira. Which means, Chesed means kindness. Whether God does kindness with me, or in Hebrew, Mishpat. Justice, that means difficult times, Ashira lecha Hashem. I will sing to you, God, Azameira. I will praise you, God. That means that not only I will not remain silent, I will actually praise you. It's not just accept whatever comes from above. Everything is for the good, and everything that God does is good. And okay, that's fine. I will praise you, God, for any kind of things that happens in my life. So again, we see three attitudes. Attitude number one is to complain and to, etc. Attitude number two is make silence. That's Aharon. Attitude number three is I will not make silence. And furthermore, I will praise God, chesed u'mishpat. Whether this is good or this doesn't look so good, I will praise God with my whole being.